What's something modern society take for granted? Water. The power of virtually unlimited knowledge at your fingertips and on demand. We now hold smartphones that can easily hold the contents of every library we've ever been to in our lives, and we take that way too lightly. Peace. Many people, at least on Reddit, think that we live in a violent, warlike world where everyone is fighting. They have no idea how often and how deadly war was. We are in the most peaceful time period in human history. Electricity. Being able to travel long distances with cargo and a comfortable, climate-controlled vehicle, without expending any effort. Technology. Most people wouldn't be able to survive without everything in their lives. If they were dropped in the bush with nothing, they forget absolutely everything is a result of technological advancements. Literally everything. People love to complain about life today, but we're living in the best time in history, up to this point. Sure, modern society have some issues, but I would rather be alive now and deal with current issues, than say, during the Middle Ages. Antibiotics. What with drug-resistant strains of bacteria, they aren't going to remain effective forever. Indoor plumbing, grocery stores, running water, reliable electric grids and industrial foods meat production. They're all gritty and exceptionally dangerous for the workers who silently do their jobs. Most of us just know that water comes from the faucet, power comes from a switch and food comes from a store. Most of us don't know that water treatment processes are a fine blend of science and tech that may kill you if 1/1,000,000th of the particles goes wrong in the mix. Most of us don't know that anything from a wind power turbine to a fracking derrick can go absolutely wrong and kill everyone involved. Most of us don't know that the rolling hooks of dead animals have cesspools of waste that could contaminate the entire population if quality standards aren't met. I only know because I work in industrial automation and have seen it all. But I still go home, drink my water, turn on the power and trust the ingredients in my ordered pizza. The polio vaccine. An American president was crippled by polio. Family. Internet everywhere. Instant rice is pretty cool. Hands down. Childhood vaccinations. For probably 99% of human existence, more than half the children born never made it past 5 years old. So much for intelligent design. And that's not even factoring in how many never even survived 9 months in the womb, and how many women died in childbirth. Flipping a switch makes light come on. Just how much more accessible education is. Don't get me wrong. A real degree still comes with a paywall no one can afford today. However, there's so many useful online resources for nearly any topic you want to learn about, along with digitalized libraries at some people's very fingertips. Hell, even without access to internet, a lot of public libraries have invested in more computers for people to use. Not to mention there's GED programs offered through a lot of local public libraries. Visit your local libraries. Seriously, clean water, conveniences, modern society as a whole. If the sun wafts one bad fart our way, modern society would collapse. It's quite cool that I can buy mangoes in Missouri in the dead of winter. Virtually everything. Nobody thinks about how or why things work. Working class men. Everything. People are always talking about how terrible modern life is and we should go back to nature. Hell no. Nature is trying to fucking kill you all the time. I'll take my clean drinking water and indoor plumbing and air conditioning, thanks. The internet. 4 walls and a roof. Having sturdy resistant shelter is underrated. Non-generic response. Porn. You can find pictures and videos of almost any kind of person doing almost anything or acting out almost any fantasy, usually for free. Before the internet, that would have been the stuff of dreams. Other people being available all the time. Constant connectivity have ruined self-reliance of most people. Farmers, exotic trophy spouses, being able to live your life with government protections from bigotry. Look at all the bigots in US government attacking trans people right now. The Christians banning abortions and now attacking contraceptives. The Vote No campaigns in Australia. First against marriage equality, now against the indigenous voice to Parliament life being a republic, and I'm not just talking about the United States of America, either. Being a republic takes a lot of hard work, but most people take them for granted life. Tomorrow is never granted life. Modern society, the processing power of a modern gaming PC, everything is online now, and going outside with friends, or even going to the store isn't the norm anymore. Wishes, social and human values, navigation apps and instant access to public transit routes and schedules, electricity and internet being available on demand, having virtually the entire collective knowledge of the human race right in your pocket. Google, just straight up being alive. Nature, everyone literally has telepathy now. Think about it. That's what cell phones give you. The abundance of food we have and how easy it is to get. No farming, ranching or harvesting skills required. Indoor plumbing, Q-tips, artificial intelligence, indoor plumbing, toilets, proper hygiene, medicine and vaccines, clean running water, mains, electricity and natural gas. I worked on a remote site for a few months. All the diesel for the generators, LNG, propane for the cooking and hot water system, and drinking water had to be trucked in. Dirty brown river water was used to wash up with. If the road was closed due to flooding, food, water and electricity got rationed. Canned soup for dinner, wet rag baths in generators off from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Being able to express yourself freely. Strictly referring to having an outlet you can vent to, whether it be social media, a therapist, etc. There was a time when people had to bottle all this shit up indefinitely. Pornhub. Granted, air conditioning was at work when the AC went out. I was surprised how hot it got where the fryers were. It was about 120 degrees in that area, and worst part when it happened the next couple days were the hottest for the month. Easy access to information. We practically have all of the information we could ever want at our fingertips. Cell phones, computers, TV, and of course books. Plumbing, availability of every imaginable food item and ingredient from all over the world, anywhere and in all seasons. Nature, exactly that. Thinking that there are only some things taken for granted. Our supply chain and current prices. Imagine 5 more years at the rate we're going. Ugh. I hope I'm wrong. Water, social progress, indoor plumbing. Just imagine trekking through snow or getting eaten by bugs just to pee. Fast internet, or any accessible internet at all. Transportation. Handicap accessibility. I was doing some ancestry and came upon a story about a woman settler in Michigan. You tend to think Little House on the Prairie. She was from Philia, modern city at the time. Her husband was clearing land with a machete. He built what sounded like a super tiny cabin. She was talking about the snow coming in BC. There were no windows or a door. Next letter she's thrilled BC. He got a door on it. It was so much warmer. It's crazy to think what people went through, but at the same time I think that's where the American attitude of hard work and just keep going started. Most societies did not have clean drinking water, plants, trees, greenery. I didn't appreciate this until I lived in a barren land with little to no foliage present. Internet. I mean, can you imagine like sending a message and then waiting days for it to reach the other person? I remember how difficult it was to send photos and videos in the 00s. I had to email the photos to my friends. And I couldn't email too many, so it had to be few at a time. Or I had to put them on a flash drive or something. Just cannot even imagine going back to that again. Dinosaurs. The current availability of food, instantaneous information, not dying from a scratch, sewage systems, smartphones. I still remember a time when these things were considered a sci-fi concept. The grand majority of us are going to live in a safe suburb for the rest of our lives, never dying in a trench somewhere, not having to worry about our kids dying in a trench, or their kids, never having to fight for any cause at all, living vicariously through the lives of people in foreign lands whose lives we'll never lead. Safe. comfortable, secure. If you live in a large old city, every or almost every building you see was made by someone who is dead or close to dying. Those people put in a lot of work that future generations just take for granted walking by them. Deodorant, easy access to food. Honestly, almost everything. How good medical science is. Men, refrigerators and freezers. Everything in nature. Affordable, skin-safe soap. Fossil fuels. The fact that we get our drinking water from a place other than where we poop. Freedom. That's why we're having less of it with the years. Getting things delivered to your house, apartment. Everything. The news would have you think the world is ending, but this is the best time to be alive in history. Hot showers, cars, internet availability.